Hello guys and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me Vulcan. Today I have for you another 1 versus 1 from the economy promotion tournament that I have been casting recently. And this one is between Duro SVK and Firestarter, both highly ranked players, so should be a good tussle. Now this is Plunjing Valley once again. An interesting large map for 1v1s. It does sort of give a lot of tactical opportunity within the map, but we'll likely see the red side focus more at Foxtrot and the blue team focus more at Alpha. Now obviously that will change as the game goes on, but at the start of the game that's generally what you'll see happen unless either player wants to push straight through the middle. Now pushing through the middle can be quite risky because as you come out the other side of the forest here you can get exposed, and depending on how many defensive troops there are in, for instance, Bravo, you could get caught out by 80 gems as you peek out of the forest here. But if you come all the way over to the left you can get pretty close before that happens. Over from Bravo to Delta you can actually get quite a decent foothold, but you'll likely see defensive troops actually hold up in this forest area here, which will stop you from sort of skirting round and getting close to the back of the sector. Anyway, now before I go on more about the map, let's have a look at the unit compositions. Over on the blue side, looks like we have actually 2 Redfor decks today, which is complete contrast to the last 2 games I've cast. So that's going to be a nice change, but looks like we're dealing with a Russian deck here from Duro. A couple of Mi-24Vs. We got an Mi-8R exceptional recon helicopter. We got Ural there carrying some recon infantry. A couple of BTR-Ds with some infantry, and actually there's a third one there as well, and a Strela 10M for infrared anti-air. We've got a couple of Afghan skis covering this UAZ 469U, which is going to be holding on to Echo at the beginning of the game, and that's also covered by a Barusa as well. In the middle, it looks like that's where the majority of Duro's forces are actually. We've got 2 BTR-Ds, a couple of BMP-1Ds, a Ural 375 with the recon infantry, a couple of T-72As, a Strela 10M, got a couple of those, and a UAZ 469U to follow that up, along with an Afghansky. And over on the far left side, we've actually got a Ural carrying another recon squad, a BTR-80A with some infantry, probably more elite infantry like Spetsnaz or something, BTR-Ds there, and then another Strela 10M. Now I like the use of Duro's recon at the start. It's got 3 recon squads of infantry, and then we've got the Mi-8R exceptional recon helicopter. So it looks like he'll have a decent amount of information throughout the game to deal with whatever Firestarter throws at him. But let's have a quick look at the composition from Firestarter. So we've got a couple of WZ551s here, supported by an STQ62G and a couple of BTR-60Ps. Now I believe, yeah, these are North Korean, so this is actually a Red Dragon deck. That's going to be really cool. Haven't seen one of those played competitively for a while. We've got BTR-60P here with these WZ551s, a ZTZ-85, we've got a ZSL-56 with the command infantry, and a couple of ZSLs with the anti-air infantry squads. So that's cool, and it looks like they're actually heading up this road, so they're using this fast move route up to Foxtrot here, so I guess he's going to try and secure this compound or something. And we've got this recon, heading straight up there on that road, and we've also got these units back here. A couple of recon like snipers here, which have just been dropped out of this truck. I guess they're going to be sitting around and looking out for any attacks on the command infantry sitting at the back of Charlie. Now in the middle actually we have these 2 WZ551s pushing up in front, another one there actually. We've got BTR-60P and they're going to be covered by this PTZ-89. I believe that's been fixed now. I think it had a rate of fire bug at some point, but I think it's been fixed. We've got a ZTZ-88 there, two ZSL 56s with the manpad squads, and the ZSL 56 there with the command infantry. Now it's quite interesting to see the command infantry being favoured on this side over the trucks on the other side. Command infantry are a lot harder to find, but obviously, you know, weaker to bombing strikes and so on. Well, a UAZ is probably just as weak. HQ7 supporting that push in the middle though. And on the right, finally, we've got a WZ551, a BTR-40A. That's got a nice twin MG on it. We've got a HQ7 there and a ZSL-56 carrying command infantry, and another truck here with some more recon infantry, probably some more snipers. So let's get this on the go. See what happens. So both sides covering their arse with recon, which is nice to see. Although not much recon in the middle actually, which could be threatening for Firestarter as he approaches this forest. This MIA is surely going to spot these units very, very quickly with its exceptional recon. If we actually go to Duro's point of view, you'll see those come into view very shortly, but he'll have to be careful that it doesn't actually get shot down. Yeah, there you go. You can see the majority of Firestarter's troops actually moving up the centre there. Now they are going to be directly countered by this large, massive units over here. But it'll be interesting to see how that engagement turns out. So we'll turn it back to neutral for now. See how these units move into position. So it looks like Firestarter is going to be taking a bit more of a defensive route. Holding Bravo there. Putting some presence into the right side of Foxtrot to stop Duro taking full control of that sector. And on the top side, both players not actually sending too much over here. We've got a unit travelling around the side there of recon infantry in that Ural. These Yakyonde actually shot out of their APC and are now retreating toward the tree line. Looks like they got hit by the T-72A there. Now the T-72As are going to deal with this infantry very, very easily, and they're also going to be able to deal with these really weak APCs, as you can see. Cleaning them up very, very easily. The composition here is great from Duro actually, because he's got these BMP-1Ds with the grenade launchers covered by the T-72As as he moves forwards. It would be good if he kept the infantry with these APCs though, that would work out much, much better. But the Lijuan here actually might get caught out if they're not careful. This BMP-1 will actually destroy that unless the napalm rockets do manage to stun the BMP-1D long enough for something else to kill it. But yeah, down the bottom side, Firestarter being very defensive with his layout. He didn't want to push too far, obviously, and is currently trying to deal with this push in the middle. So the Tanker Shashao doing their best to attack these T-72As. We've got the PTZ-89 there, actually doing a great job of taking out one of the T-72As. We've got the ZTZ there, which was also firing back, but did get hit pretty hard. These VDV-90 squads, oh my lord, they did a nice job there taking out that tank. We've got these Mi-24s actually taking out a couple of units in the field over here. I think they were just these APCs that were thrown toward the tree line to see if there's anything there. That has obviously revealed Duro's use of these helicopters. And, well, at the moment, Firestarter is well in the lead, using command units in Alpha, Bravo, and Foxtrot. And Duro is trying to turn that round now with an Mi-8 MTV coming in to drop a command into Foxtrot, and we got a UAZ moving up into Alpha. But the engagement still going on in the centre here, the VDV being pushed forwards but being hit heavily by the Tanker Shashao as they do so. They're also going to be hit by this ZTZ by the looks of things. the fire being turned onto the T-72A there, and quite rightly so. Try and take out that fire support. It'll make it a lot easier to take out these infantry squads. So that's going to continue in the middle. Over up the top here, you can see that a Spetsnaz GRU squad has actually snuck through. Just got past Firestarter's snipers there without being spotted. So that could cause some trouble later in the game. But these Mostrelki pushing hard onto the Tanker Shashau, but the Tanker Shashau doing great at the moment defending there. With the support of the ZTZ, it's actually going to be pretty easy to take out these Mostrelki. Another tank coming in down here, the ZTQ Recon, and the B5 coming in with its wonderful 3,000 kilogram bomb. Is that going to wipe out these VDV? Yes, it is. My lord, look at that explosion radius. Just beautiful. So an amazing couple of kills there. That B5 picking off those VDV squads is massively important. And that QW1 taking out the Mi-8 there. Exceptional Recon Helicopter is going to blind Duro on this side. Exceptional Recon Helicopters are just like so good for giving you information. And this Spetsnaz GRU squad is just not going to do the same amount here. You know, it's going to give him a reasonable amount of information, but I'm pretty sure that Mi-8 could have spotted these units in the tree line all the way over here. But we'll have to, you know, say that that was a terrible loss there. This Recon infantry actually being stuck in the middle of the forest there might not actually see as much as he wants it to. Now the ZTZ being engaged by the T-72As at long distance. Now the ZTZ's 65 points, the T-72A's 55 points. Now the T-72As actually have 13 front armor, whilst the ZTZs only have 12. But the ZTZs have a more powerful gun with an extra AP power and extra accuracy, which makes them great for engaging at longer distance. Now the WZ being pushed forwards here. I think that was actually, was that an Mi-24? Actually got shot down by these WZs. Actually, no, it was the HQ7. I was going to say that would have been a bit of a lucky kill there. I'm not sure, you know, why Duro would have let that happen, but it was actually the HQ7 with the infrared missiles. Did an amazing job there. And with more reinforcements coming in from Firestarter, this isn't looking very good for Duro. You know, he put a lot of pressure on the middle, and Firestarter's bouncing right back now, with one of the T-72As actually being taken out there. And if he doesn't bring more reinforcements to Delta soon, he is going to get overran very quickly in this game. These Yuck days with their wonderful 30 km/h run speed. I wish I could run that fast. But they're moving through the forest at some rate, and they are going to be catching out any vehicles that they come across with that wonderful heat rocket they have with 19 AP power and 50% accuracy. Brilliant unit with the elite training, but unfortunately, yeah, numbers do tend to win against them. Anyway, another tank going down here. Another T-72A is a wreck after that Yuck Hyundai squad did take it out. We also have movement up on the top side from Firestarter, putting pressure everywhere on this map. It is beautiful to see the micromanagement that's coming out from Firestarter right now. He's continuously pushing through the middle here with this ZTQ leading up here with the Recon. Takes out a nice unit on the road there. We've got the BTR-60Ps moving through the forest to give him some recon information while this WZ follows up as well. See, this BTR-60P discovered these two BTRDs and he knows that's going to be coming into the forest there. The ZTZ doesn't have to worry too much, he can just reverse, knowing that there's a couple extra squads going to be threatening him. And up on the top side, I don't think Duro was really ready for, you know, the push up here as well. These WZs coming in, they put him in a bit of a predicament, and he's been forced to move his UAZ out of Alpha, which is massive, giving Firestarter a +3 advantage on the reinforcement points. These Liege 1 also taking care of these Spetsnaz very nicely with the help of the PTZ, I would expect. And, well, this is the sign of a good player. You've got the ZTZs really, really low on health. This one's got 1 health, this one's got 2 health. And he's going to retreat those and get them fixed up and send them back in again, making the most use out of those units as he can. You know, also at the side, at the same time, he's got these recon units moving. This is just wonderful to watch because of the amount of micromanagement that's going on around the map at the same time. It's quite hard to keep up with. Over here, actually, we have the Spetsnaz GRU. Could take out this infantry if Firestarter isn't too careful. But now we've got the perfect response to Motostrelki here. The ZSL bringing in some flamethrower troops. I think the VDV-90 will still be good enough to take out this squad though. VDV-90 with their shock training going to be good enough to stun that squad before it can even fire its napalm. However, Duro's going to have to be careful revealing these infantry squads on the edge of the forest here because they are going to be in range of these ZTZs. And those ZTZs will do a lot of damage to those squads. With 3 HE power, they are going to be able to do that amount of damage. Now the B5 coming in again to take care of the pesky Spetsnaz GRU, but the Spetsnaz have actually moved in the right direction and the B5 does indeed miss with its 3,000 kilogram bomb. The command squad did get taken out like I said it might. So getting back at Firestarter there for pushing himself out of Alpha, but a MiG-27 shot down by the HQ-7. And that's going to be a huge loss for Duro, wasting even more points there into Firestarter's front line. Just a wonderful spread of units throughout this forest now allows Firestarter so much flexibility when dealing with a pocket of forces because he can come in from multiple sides, flanking them, and can take them out really, really quickly. Now the ZTZ also taking out a T-72A there. This HQ-7, oh, just missed with its last missile onto this Mi-24P. But that Mi-24P trying to do its best to take out the WZ-551, but didn't quite get the shot off with that ATGM. Actually, the HQ-7 did have a shot left, but didn't quite get in range in time to fire it off. Tanker Shash out here, trying to deal with his T-72A. We got an engagement between the Yondays. Wow. And those VDV. And the Yondays cleaned them up very quickly with the help of the ZTZ. We got the BTR-60Ps here with the help of the WZ-551 and the ZTQs actually using machine gun fire to take out this Mi-24V. I'm assuming the WZ-551 with the autocannon there did the majority of the damage, but that is a brilliant kill if you can get it. Using these pretty much useless units, the BTR-60Ps, only really good for wasting as recon, to do some serious damage there. These Yondays still making progress with the ZTZ into the forest, taking out hopefully this BMP-1D before it can kill off that squad. Well, never mind. And, well, the BTR-60P got a bit overambitious there, trying to take on 2 Motostrelki squads, but I'm sure Firestarter doesn't really mind. So, this defensive position hasn't really moved around Foxtrot, but Firestarter's really bounced back. Duro came in very, very hard towards Bravo, lost way too many units to these Tanker Shashao squads, and that allowed Firestarter to push straight back and with a lot of force, whilst also occupying Duro up here with the push into Alpha. Now, Duro did manage to get the UAZ snuck back into the sector, but Firestarter's now neutralised that again with his own Jeep. WZ-551 here, with the help of the BTR-60P, gonna do a lot of damage to these helicopters again. The TQ again getting out of there with 1 HP. Now that's not luck. Well, it might be a bit of luck, but Firestarter knows what he's doing. He is going to be reversing that into the forest as soon as possible. We've got to be careful of the flank from the Mostrelki. One rocket will destroy that ZTQ. I don't think there's going to be much he's going to be able to do about that, to be honest, because the Mostrelki will most likely catch up with the ZTQ in the forest anyway. Might be able to get away with it if he starts reversing now, but it doesn't look like he's spotted it. Su-27S coming in to deal with the B5 there. The B5 actually trying to bomb this UAZ out with the 3,000 kilogram bomb. Did take out the infantry squad protecting it, but didn't take out the UAZ itself, but obviously pushed the UAZ out of the sector, which allows him to capture it. So pretty much the same effect. Now Firestarter seems to have pretty decent position here in this middle forest. Controlling this middle forest gives him a lot of flexibility throughout the map to push around the top and around the bottom. Mi-24P there actually picking off a unit on the road. Just a recon vehicle though. Nothing too important. Tanker Shashao, brilliant shot there onto the BTR-80A. Taking that one out. Su-27SK, Air Supremacy aircraft, is going to be flying around, and I presume that's brought up to allow Firestarter to continue to use his B5, because he doesn't want to bring in his B5 and have it shot down, because the B5s are very, very useful units to have at your disposal. So the Tanker Shashao here going to be engaging the Spetsnaz from max range. Well, they've actually run out of the rockets now. You can see that Firestarter has noted that down. So he's going to be retreating the Tanker Shashao, as when the Spetsnaz get close, they will regain an advantage using the napalm rockets. These BTRDs with their quad machine guns, dealing enough damage with the help of the Mi-24P there to take out the napalm squad. B5 coming in with its 3,000 kilogram bomb is going to get taken out by the Su-27S, but the 3,000 kilogram bomb did take out the command vehicle that was approaching the sector and did a serious amount of damage to these VDV squads. Wonderful bombing strike there. Did finally get rid of that pesky UAZ, which is going to stop Duro from really contesting Alpha for the time being. Now down in this middle part, you can see Firestarter's cleaning up the rest of these Mostrelki, and now he has full control over the center forest here, and he's even contesting Delta with this command jeep. Now this is incredibly important, because now the only points Duro is getting is from his home sector, and that's massive. He is getting, like, what's this, 7 more reinforcement points than Duro at the moment, and for an economy victory, that's going to be incredibly important. ZTZ's engaging the T-72A, and the T-72A nearly dead, but currently the shot is blocked by these buildings. So the ZTZ not going to be able to finish that off, but obviously causing that to retreat. Might even get the shot as it is retreating, but no, I think that's just moved out of range, so that's not going to happen. But all Firestarter has to do now, really, is hold his position all the way down this tree line here. And there really isn't going to be much that Duro can do to bring himself back into this game. Maybe a sneaky move around the bottom side here, but as you can see, Firestarter has that well defended, and there is recon here to spot that. On the top side, again, recon. He's covering his flank so well. Obviously, the Spetsnaz squad's still here, but now that's even covered by this APC, and we've got a PGZ here, which could deal with that Spetsnaz pretty nicely while a airstrike comes in and takes that out or something. Su-27SK coming over to deal with this Su-27S. But with the infrared shot fired there from what was a Strela 10M, the Su-27 was actually evac'd as the Strela 10M got killed by the ZTZs. Anyway, the ZTZ attacking this Spetsnaz Gru squad while the Hyundai push forwards. Now, ideally, Firestarter wants to get these into assault rifle range, or in this case, submachine gun range. ZTZ there. Did that just take out the command vehicle? Yes, it did. Wonderful shot. Going to basically make Delta completely Firestarters now. Hyundai got beat down quite a lot. Oh, the T-64BV, very heavy tank, is going to take out their ZTZ. Get rid of that threat. However, is that too little too late? It might just be. The J7H is coming in with a 1,000 kilogram bomb there. Searching for the kill onto Duro's CV. B5 doing the same with a 3,000 kilogram bomb. Is it going to get killed by the Strela 10M? No, it's not. With a 3,000 kilogram bomb, it's going to destroy the command squad in Foxtrot. And look at the map domination now. That is impressive. HQ7 being used to attack the Mi-8R. HQ7 actually out of infrared missiles now, though. And, well, yeah, I just really can't see Duro getting himself back into this game now. He's given away too much ground, and I think that was the surrender. So, there you have it, guys. Firestarter taking the first of 2 games that they will be playing against each other. Firestarter with an excellent kill-death ratio, actually. 2,060 points in kills to 1,170 in losses. Just spectacular micromanagement from Firestarter to really overwhelm his opponent on that map. Very, very well done. Now, I thought that at the beginning of the game, Duro might have a better advantage because he had those T-72As supported by the BMP-1Ds and the VDVs and the Motostrelki. Now, that's a really, really good composition to push against Firestarter. However, what he didn't have, or what he lacked, was AA. And enough AA to deal with the B5, pretty much. B5 just blew the crap out of Duro throughout that game. We also saw, because Duro moved forwards his APCs and tanks without the support of his infantry, it allowed the APCs to get picked off, which was extremely important for tackling those tanker Shashao, which ended up destroying a lot of his infantry and pushed the game into Firestarter's favour. And as soon as Firestarter realised that Duro had pushed the majority of his forces onto him, Firestarter could push through that gap, knowing there would be pretty much no resistance there, because the majority of the what would have been defensive forces were used to attack in that place. And you can kind of estimate that if you're a very good player. And he took complete advantage of it and took complete control of the center forest in that map. And it made it an easy win for Firestarter at the end of the day, because if you control the middle, and then you control the flanks the majority of the time. Sometimes it can differ, but if you've got those 2 sectors like contested in the middle, then you're going to have a great time. Like, he controlled his own and he contested the other one. And that's going to make it incredibly hard for Duro to ignore. So Duro's going to try and push him out of that sector, but to no avail. And that's exactly what happened here. And then it allowed Firestarter to maneuver at the top of the map, take out that sector, and then later on do the same at the bottom using the bombers, because he knew that there would unlikely be enough AA to deal with the massive bombers he could bring in, because the majority of the resources was going to be put into the center. So really nice macro play and micro play from Firestarter there to win that first game. But I'm not sure Duro is going to go down so easily in the second, because they are both very good players. I think Duro just got caught out there by the rapid advance of Firestarter throughout that game. So yeah, really nice game there. Pretty quick, 20 minutes and 50 seconds overall game time. Now that doesn't include deployment, if you're wondering. But yeah, awesome game. So very much enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.